In this video, you're going to find a comparison between how EFT and the ICE method work, both of them based in the scientific understanding of memory reconsolidation. Again, this is part of the talk that I gave at the Vancouver, Canada EFT gathering in 2013. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks.
Okay, so why I really want to share this with you is because if you get it, if you play with this imaginatively as a picture for your life, you get the science going on in your brain. And then you say, wow, when a 1 minute wonder happens in EFT, that's because that happened in a minute. When nothing happens, we never got this little guy active. No problem, we just didn't get that little thing active. So you don't have to sit there and go, what am I doing wrong, this, that, and the other thing. Well, how do you get that thing active? You just simply pay attention to the issue. Ask, what's the physical sensation? I feel it in my stomach. Right? When you do EFT, right, how pain will travel around for people? Stored peptides in the body. They're active now. Once you realize, gosh, my hip hurts when I feel that. Over the calm space, back, check out the hip. What's happening now? On my shoulder. It actually gets really fun and non-mysterious. Why? Because peptides, instructional molecules, are stored at the synapse of the brain through your past history, your present, and future concern. They're stored in the body, and they are also pure emotion. And so you get for yourself a way to play this game. Right? EFT is a great game to play. And this, I think, is something that can add an explanatory framework for working with it. Okay, so if you look at your paper, which you get a little organized here, tell, tap, and test. Just put up 3 words for like what we do with EFT, right? The first thing we do with EFT is we identify an issue and we get a level of intensity, a sub-level. What have you done? You've just activated that synapse. Then when we tap, what are we doing? We are moving into a different emotional state. And then when we test, we are from that different emotional state, we are going back, and I believe what's happening is we're replacing agitated peptides with calm ones. Is the person going to feel calm? You check. Well, where are they at? Identify again. Now there's probably other synapses in there, because we have more than 5 synapses in our head. We get trillions of them. And we just play this game. So I made a specific technique out of this, because it's like, this is what's happening, I believe. And I simply identify peptides. Then go and produce calm peptides. And then exchange peptides. ICE. And I found it to be extraordinarily effective because it, at least from my perspective, it seems to coincide with my understanding of what's happening chemically in the brain. Another then where does this chemistry get formed from? Emotions, right? Where do emotions come from? That's the piece that's not the physical one, right? So that's the one that backs into things that we do not know how to explain. Sometimes spiritual, right? For thousands of years, people have been doing these kinds of things without that picture. It's actually a painting for the National Science Foundation. It's not actually a picture. Someone painted that. So for thousands of years, things have been working in the spiritual realms. In the last century, in terms of quantum physics. And so when you hear about quantum, you're back into that realm of pure energy. And pure energy shows up in the thing that you can measure and weigh as a peptide. And I think that's just lovely. That there's this connection. Because I love quantum. But it's a really, it's a slippery thing to talk about. But that one, you can stick on a scale. Oh, I just got a kilogram of angry peptides. You should run. Okay, so under the identify, 3 aspects to look for: emotion, location, experience. Why? Because all of those are peptides showing up either through your emotions, as experiences from the past, anxieties about the future, or issues in the present, or a location in the body. Everything from my third toe just started hurting to now my stomach hurts. If you do EFT as a practitioner, you know that that's very typical. Peptides. Okay? Under the calm, this two-point method, I read that first in the book down below, The Secret of Instant Healing by Frank Kinslow. There are many other ways to move into a calm state. The Biology of Belief, that book by Bruce Lipton, that the cell is influenced from the outside by peptides. And then Candace Pert, over on the left, Molecules of Emotion, that it is our emotion that trigger the production of these peptides. And down below that, the book The Field by Lynn McTaggart, a marvelous book about opening up scientific research that's happening about the quantum field on beyond the level of subatomic particles, but how we can understand it in terms of how it's showing up in daily life. Unlocking the Emotional Brain is the first book written by a psychologist who came out last November. I believe it's the first book that actually uses memory reconsolidation in a psychological therapeutic way. And Fibromyalgia Relief, I think, is the second book, the book that I came out with this summer. And I would love for you to have it if there's anybody with fibromyalgia, for yourself or anybody else, but I would love for all of you to get a copy of that book, because it's not just about fibromyalgia, as I've been talking about, right? So part one is this technique of the ICE method. Explain, so I give it to people who've never heard of it, who read it and say, I get it. It's very simply written. Part two is the science of memory reconsolidation, explained as simply as I can. And if you took it home and you played with it, my hope is that it would settle in for you as a picture for life. And then the last part, Richard's going to be talking about spirit, and we spoke a little bit already, but it is like, why is it that we're a culture of fight or flight?
Well, I hope you're enjoying this talk. The next video, the last one, is a review of the talk that you've just heard, so it could be useful to you in terms of just hearing all the pieces of memory reconsolidation again. And then a couple of interesting questions from the folks that were there at the Vancouver, Canada EFT gathering in 2013. Again, there's lots of other information on my website. It's a membership website. There's more than 30 different training videos for how to make the ICE method and memory reconsolidation a conscious part of your life for both your physical health and your emotional well-being.